Okay, we can officially get started. I can't stop staring at our white angles.
Our white angles.
Ankles.
White ankles. Well, that's why I went like this. It is on another level. We're going to start the video with everyone staring at our white angles. I'm just letting you know. We are live tonight for our podcast of the month. The first podcast of the month. We are live over on our Patreon. If that interests you, check it out. Shout out to Kayla.
Hey, Kayla.
Who is not a first-time listener, but first-time emailing us. She says, "Hi, liars. It's Kayla who's been messaging you from Instagram, and I'm a local Long Island gal. I love all of your pods, gave them all 5 stars, and you forced me out of my comfort zone. I have watched every show you've reviewed and love them all, so thank you." Thank you, Kayla.
Thank you. And love chatting with you in the DMs as well. So sweet. And to just go through our shows. And now hopefully you have some new favorites to go back to and revisit. And thank you.
What was your most surprising show that you ended up liking?
Yeah.
Curious.
Yeah.
Because
I feel
this one is a curious one.
Well,
This
yeah,
show
but
is a
I
curious
feel
one.
like when people find us and they go through the shows we covered and then they get to Friday Night Lights, and I feel like that's always the one where like, I'm so surprised I liked this. And then they're like, I can't believe I waited this long.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's how I felt
I know.
when I watched.
I know. It's a special one.
It really is.
Yeah.
All right. So we're discussing episode 4 of season 3 titled Birds of a Feather, aired June 26, 2012, written by Michael J. Cinquemani and Jonelle Lennon, directed by Roger Cumble. Hannah. Oh, sorry. I totally was reading. Hannah and Mona's visits cause tension with Caleb. Emily finds solace after meeting Maya's cousin. Spencer must know the truth about Melissa. What a great summary.
I think we all need to know the truth.
We all needed to know the
Melissa.
truth about Melissa. And then she gave her explanation. She's like, I'm going to go lie down. She just killed
Melissa
me.
and her dramatics are so funny to me.
What was happening?
Yeah.
What was happening in this episode?
Yeah.
These are some... I'm having a hard time with these couple of...
Are you?
Yeah, and next week's not any better, I feel. Like, while we needed to know who the Black Swan was, it was really not that exciting.
It's kind of anticlimactic.
It was anticlimactic. Yeah. What do you guys think? Was it anticlimactic?
I know.
Do you agree with us? Do you
what
not?
do you think? Sound off in the chat.
If you love this reveal, let us know. But Michelle last week was like, is it the Black Swan? I'm like, well, I think it's the Black Swan, but it's really not that exciting.
I mean, maybe that's how it's supposed to be. Not everything is supposed to be so exciting.
I know.
We build every secret and reveal up, and maybe it's actually not supposed to be that way. Maybe.
I know, but with this show, it's kind of like you learn it that way.
That's
that
true.
It's supposed to be every moment means something, and especially with those Easter eggs at the end, like what does it mean? It means something. So it's frustrating for the audience. I mean, we did get the Mona reveal last season. That was huge, and now I guess I can understand why they wouldn't want to like truly hone in on like, let's figure out stuff, because we're just starting the season.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point.
But it's kind of boring for the audience.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But is it good that we're 4 episodes in and we've gotten a reveal?
I mean, that's
so it's
good.
like we are chipping away. I mean,
yeah,
we needed to find this out. So I guess it's a little win.
A little win. We'll say it's a little win.
A little win.
Oh, iPad, why did you get so far down?
Kat feels it was a bit predictable.
Yeah, and even in the beginning of the episode, we have Hannah, who's like, she fits the bill for the Black Swan. And then we have them going to the closet and they find the feather, which we'll get to. But I don't know, the reveal itself.
Yeah, and maybe her explanation too, right? We're like,
it didn't really give much.
Yeah.
Okay, so the girls wonder if what Jenna told them last week about how she just was there to keep Emily safe, but Emily ran out of the car. Do we believe her? Do we believe she's not on the A team? Do we not believe she's A? And I'm like, they're like, oh, so we can just throw that she's throw it out that she's A. I'm like, why? Why would you?
I
Just
know.
if she's been seen this whole time, I definitely wouldn't exclude her from this.
I wouldn't exclude Melissa either. I wouldn't exclude anybody.
And then they go into Lucas, and Hannah's
Yeah.
like, Lucas can't do. I'm like, why are you excluding anybody? Did you think Mona was capable of what she could do?
Good point. Good point.
Why exclude anybody?
Yeah.
But they know for sure the Black Swan is guilty of something. She ran away from them at the masquerade ball. They need to figure out who it is. And as Hannah says, it could be Melissa. She fits the costume, and we know she was faking her pregnancy. The Hastings have a lot going on in this episode. So
where is Dad?
he's been missing for like the last, since we've opened up, we haven't seen him.
Is he still
We
on
also
the show?
haven't seen, we also haven't seen Pam, even though Emily's living in the house. We haven't seen Mike or Byron.
I thought we saw Pam.
Oh, we did see Pam for the first episode.
Yeah.
When we came back. Yeah.
Yeah, that's strange.
Mm-hmm.
Did they say that Daddy Hastings was away?
No, they have not mentioned him.
It's so weird.
I know it is weird, but
yeah.
So Jason comes into the cafe to confront Veronica about taking Garrett's case, and she gives her typical reasoning. Everyone is, entitled to have fair representation, and he feels that this is a plan by her. She's trying to cover something up. He doesn't know what it is yet, but he knows she's not doing this out of the goodness of her heart. He also then posts these flyers of a reward if someone has knowledge of Allison's whereabouts the night she went missing and was killed. And Spencer and Veronica also discuss how it's probably not going to end well for him because a lot of people are going to be answering this reward just to give any type of information to get this. Like, take advantage of a grieving family.
Sure, and it's $50,000.
That's $50,000. Like, and A says, I could do a lot with $50,000.
Sure.
Yeah, and then Spencer also questions about Allison's body being dug up and...
Wait, what'd you say?
Allison's body being dug up.
I thought you said Allison questioned Allison's body. Sorry, continue.
No, Spencer questions Veronica about the severity of what would happen if someone were to dig up the body. And she says, well, they are looking at many years in prison, and if not life in prison, because it could be pinned on them, the murder of Allison.
Right.
So, Spencer's like, oh, you don't think it's Garrett? She's like, no, well, anyone who were to dig up the grave, it would look really shady if they weren't the killer. So then therefore the police is gonna most likely frame this person and say that they were the one who killed her. Yeah. So Spencer, she tries to talk to Jason about the flyer, and he's like, I know when people are lying. It's fine. I'm a really good judge of character.
You? Can't you tell?
And she's like, what do you mean, my mom? What do you think? She's doing something to cover up for Melissa? And he's like, duh.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Your
mom has
right?
her own agenda.
Mm-hmm. So the girls don't really know, what to believe now that we'll find out that Wilden does go to question Mona. And so far, the girls are not being questioned about anything. So far, nobody knows that they were there the night Allison's body went missing. And they press Spencer about Melissa. They're like, look, you need to go and talk to her because not only is she after you, it seems she's after all of us. And Spencer's like, well, I was the only one that basically, made out with her fiance and then her other boyfriend, whatever, and did all the things. And then Aria says, yes, but we also have the tapes of her being there the night Allie went missing. So of course she would want to also blackmail us for that. And so the girls are like, no, gung-ho, Melissa is A, and Spencer, you need to figure it out. So they devise a plan where Spencer's going to distract Melissa and the other girls are going to go in and search her apartment for incriminating evidence like medical records because she's just be lying around.
I know. Like, why? This could be all digitally stored.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Right. A hidden folder on a desktop. It wouldn't be just laying on her coffee table.
Like, I don't keep my medical records easily accessible. It's online in your portal.
Right.
Anyway.
I mean, this is 2012, but still, you would...
Or it's in a filing
cabinet.
cabinet.
Right. It would be somewhere hidden.
You're not going to find it in like 5 minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Spencer says to the girls don't go in yet. I'll let you know when Melissa gets here. And of course, the girls are impatient. They go in. Melissa ends up having to go back into the apartment and find her wallet. And of course, the girls aren't found because they're hiding in her very organized closet. And so as she's digging through the closet, the girls are there, but of course, they don't get found. And then they see this garment bag that has a mask on it. It says it's a costume. And Michelle's like, oh my goodness, they're going to show the costume. And then they open it and nothing is there.
The way, was it Aria?
Shoo!
She was just like, "Whew." And then one feather.
The
at
one
the bottom.
single feather. All that is left.
Yeah, Elizabeth, she wrote this, like birds of a feather, Betty's stick together.
Fatties stick together. I love it.
So cute. But finding the feather at the bottom matches the feather that was found.
Right. So they compare it and they show Spencer. Look, Spencer, it's not looking good. Melissa is A, or she's working for A.
Yep.
And you need to get to the bottom of it. So the plan was that they were going to go confront Melissa, but Melissa ends up being in the Hastings home because she claims, oh, mom's just shooken up about the Jason thing. He embarrassed her. I'm like, really?
Also,
She's a lawyer.
she's not.
She's not embarrassed.
She's not. And Melissa's in the dark with a knife standing by the door. Were the knives over there? I'm trying to like picture.
But why would she be grabbing it in the dark? I don't get it.
Right. And you had vegetables to chop because you walk over to chop. I'm being nitpicky and I get that. It's just like logistically, this is so ridiculous.
Well, we can be nitpicky because
That's true.
this is what we're here for.
That is true. That is true. This whole scene is so like, I get it. We have to get the information out, and Spencer does have to approach Melissa, but the way it was done,
It's bad.
bad,
Just bad.
bad.
Yes. So Spencer says to her, look, I know you were the Black Swan. I just need to know why. I knew you were faking your pregnancy. And Melissa has to like dramatically run to the couch and sit down and says that she lost her baby the night they found Ian. I guess assuming the trauma of the
Yeah.
experience made her miscarry. And so she lost the baby then, but she was so upset she couldn't handle it anymore because now Ian was dead and her baby was gone and she didn't need anything more about her in the papers. So she decided to just fake her pregnancy.
I guess because Ian was found dead. Ian's fiance is Melissa Hastings.
Right. But like, did they ever announce that she was pregnant to the world? I feel like she was carrying very small for the most part.
And why would the town? Are they that invested?
It's a small town.
As Emily says later on to Nate. His name's Nate, right?
Yes.
Okay. But I don't know. Would people?
They wouldn't care. And she
Yeah.
is her mother's daughter. You
Yeah,
know, like
yeah.
they both really only care about appearances
Sure.
and keeping that up and
Mhm.
having a positive light shined on them in the town.
Mhm.
And so I guess her having a miscarriage is so detrimental to her character. I don't even really
Yeah.
know what. Anyway, she was grieving. She couldn't handle it. So she decided just to fake her pregnancy for months. And then Garrett came into the picture and then he was arrested. And that was the same night of the masquerade ball. And she claims she got a message, a note with this garment bag of this costume and says, you need to wear this tonight. Otherwise, I will share your secret. You are not pregnant. And then apparently the note also said that she needed to distract Jenna.
Do we believe this?
I don't know. It seems fishy.
But
I
then,
actually don't remember.
but like, okay, so we get this story from, I was going to say a sob story, but we get this story from Melissa, and then we got the story from Jenna. So now two people are were threatened by A.
Right. Yeah. So Kat says, now with Melissa getting text and Jenna admitting getting text, is A targeting other characters beyond the liars? Or do we think this is just coincidental?
Or, right, and then part of me...
Or
which I
are
think-
they trying to make it seem like Mona, right?
Right, so then part of me thinks is that they're all in it on together to kind of mess with the girls.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes back to my whole team, which I still think there is an A team. and the NET club,
Right. We haven't talked about that in a
which
while.
maybe is that dead?
I think we talk about it like another time.
But it's not
remember.
very much something that's like,
I think it will come up later on, but I don't really remember.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I don't really remember.
It's hard. As Melissa was telling her story, I was like, okay. But then she's like, I have to go lie down. And she leaves the room right away.
She's like, I hope this keeps us square now. Like, we're fine. We're going to drop it. I'm going to go upstairs and lie down. It was just the delivery was not,
No.
you don't seem at all, I don't even know the words. Like, she is still grieving because she lost her fiance and she lost her baby, and then she technically lost her boyfriend.
Yeah. Right.
So
right.
she's been through a lot of shit
Yeah.
that she needs to go lie down for, which she should. I feel like she should have let the conversation, at least let them ask a few more questions.
Yeah.
Spencer has so many questions.
Yeah. Kat, on top of that, says, I wonder if the writers just realized they didn't want a baby around, so decided Melissa had to have lied for months as they shown her pregnant. Thinking emoji.
It's possible. Right. Like, we never know how far in the future these writers are planning things.
Right.
As you can tell already, we had a guideline for at least the first 2 seasons from the books. We read the 4 books this summer. It was pretty much lined up as to where we left off with the show end of season 2, and now they're going rogue. Like, we're not following anything that's going on in the books. Therefore, they could do whatever they want, and who knows how far in advance they really plan this stuff out.
Right.
And as you'll see as the show goes on, and I'm sure there will be a lot of like behind the scenes stuff I could read, but it seems like, and much like other shows that are on now that were like kind of, out there and crazy, the writers really and the directors saw people, what they were tweeting and posting, and were like, I like that. Or, influenced by the community that loved or hated the show, and they did what they wanted with it. So we'll see as the show goes on. There is a lot of stuff that is questionable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So Veronica admits to Spencer that while her and Peter knew about the miscarriage, Garrett also knew she was faking. So she's like, okay, so that's why you're representing him. And she says, well, no, his public defender was putting together a list of names that could be incriminating. And so one of the names on there was the private investigator that the Hastings hired to look after Melissa after Allison's disappearance. And so that could look bad.
Yeah. And then also like covering up a miscarriage.
Right. On top of that.
Covering up pregnancy.
Right. So Garrett has that information, and then there's further information that this PI could, go on the witness stand and say something, and it could look bad It could look bad for the Hastings. So
this really goes back to what Jason's thinking of this
right.
He's why saying, Veronica's doing this.
Right. He's like, you're not doing because you think he's innocent. He killed my sister. He killed Maya.
I mean,
we don't believe that. We don't believe that, but the town believes that.
Yeah, the town believes that. Yeah.
Yeah. So Spencer runs into Jason later on. He's standing out on his porch, as he typically does when people are walking
He's like
by.
A stoop gargoyle.
He's like stoop kid. He just hangs out there continuously and waits for people to come up to him. But he tells Spencer he's revoking the reward, and he's gotten so many calls, and he understands why, he should probably take this flyer down. And she says, I can't wait to go to college next year and have this all behind me. And he's like, you would think, but it follows you wherever you go. Like, grief will never leave you. Yeah. And this town is basically haunted, full of your ghosts, and they will come with you. And that's why he's like back and forth coming to Rosewood, because he can't escape it. And then we see, for some reason, he revoked the prize, but he wrote out a check to cash for $50,000 and then speaks with someone on the phone saying to meet him in 15 minutes. Everyone wants to know.
Yeah,
Do you think he was talking to someone we know?
Well, maybe it's talking to. Well, wait, when we were watching, I said maybe he's writing the check to Veronica, and so she'll drop Garrett. I don't know
Do you
how
think
that works.
money that's
No,
like
because they
the
have
sign-
money.
Yeah.
They have money.
Mhm.
Or maybe I don't know. I don't know because this is difficult because I feel like who he's writing the money to, and well, actually, maybe not. I was gonna say I feel like we saw all the players that could be part of. Never mind. I'm inspired. Move on.
It's
move
okay.
on.
She's
It's like I'm
thinking out
processing
loud.
in real time.
You're processing in real time, and that's
and there's no information that's actually coming through. So
well, maybe you'll process it a little bit more. The last scene we have with Spencer, at least, is Wilden in his vehicle passes by, just casually says, "How far is the lake house from here?" And then he's just curious, drives away. Mike wants to know, will Wilden find out that the girls were at the lake house, or weren't at the lake house, I should say.
yes, I'm not sure how, but he will. Yeah, as Spencer says, the truth always comes out. Always finds a way. So, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Over to Aria. She is worried that because her dad is now seeing Meredith, that this is going to affect Ella in some way. And maybe if she had someone in her life that wouldn't sting so badly. And then she tells Hannah, yeah, I'm going to tell my mom that my dad's dating. And then, of course, she goes in there to tell her and she doesn't. She's like, nothing. I have nothing to tell you.
Yeah, she froze.
Yeah. And Ella's like, I'm fine, like, hanging out with you on a, Friday night or whatever. I hang out with people from, 9 to 5 every day that are children. I'd rather just hang out with my daughter. Like, I don't need to go out. She's like, all my friends are married. I'm like, well, Ashley's not married. She's very much single. She would be a good friend to you. So Aria decides she's going to make Ella a profile on a dating website, and Hannah really doesn't think it's a good choice. And then Ashley comes in and she's like, what are you guys doing? You're not going to keep secrets. And she tells them to use the site Mainline Mate.
I cannot.
Because
So
she's
funny.
had some success on that website. And so Hannah decides to make her screen name Hot Mama.
Hot Mama on Mainline
Hot
Mate.
Mama. Yeah. Well, a lot of people want to know what we would have chosen for Ella's profile name, I guess.
Probably like
English teacher 3000.
too hot to teach you.
Too hot to teach
Tutor
you.
girl.
Tutor girl. That would have been so cute.
It would probably be like high school teacher and devoted mom 3789.
Devo mom. Mike adds, Mike and Vic said, if we were in high school, what would we have made our online dating profile name? I feel like, wouldn't that be like your screen name? Because the AIM was still a thing when we were in high school.
Oh, for sure. And we have MySpace too.
And we had MySpace. So
Yeah.
I'd probably be like Dancing Forever or something.
I mean,
stupid.
it would probably just be my AIM name, which is Veggie Burger Burp. That was it. I wouldn't change a thing. Like, I was an odd.
Well, you are who you are, and you
That's right.
shouldn't change.
I was an odd ball. So yeah. Or I would, and then if I was like in my Paul Frank phase, not even though, it'd probably just be Veggie Burger Burp. That's what everyone knew me as. So yeah.
Oh, it's so good. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
So Ashley and Ella end up meeting up at the coffee shop, and she's asking her how her dates are going on Mainline Mate, and Ella's obviously confused, being that she doesn't know what Mainline Mate is, and so Ashley shows her, and they're going through the men, and they're going through her profile, and she's like, oh my god, like, what is my daughter doing? And they're joking and just saying how, at their age, it's really hard to find a nice, decent man in town that's single and not wanting to date people who are 20 years younger than them.
I love this scene.
This is my favorite scene of
Me
the whole
too.
episode.
Seeing the moms together. I want them to hang out. I love them having a glass of wine together, looking at the dating websites.
Yeah, this is the show
is
I want to
great.
watch.
Same. I want to watch the moms of Rosewood.
Right? They're so sweet.
Like, in the background, their daughters can be dealing with a murder, and that's really stressful. But then the moms figure
They're
out
like
how
the
to
comic relief.
single mom life.
But they weren't the comic relief. They were just It was just nice
Yeah,
to
there was
see
just-
two adults having
Yes.
something in common and having a normal conversation.
Yeah, because we're closer to their age
Absolutely.
now than the girls.
Very close.
Yeah.
Very close.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hannah, she is trying to visit Mona, but as Michelle predicted, they revoked her visitation privileges. So she cannot get in. She's on the phone with Ren trying to see if he can try and figure out a situation where she can get in. And she's upset, and Caleb comes in, and he had bought Bon Iver tickets, and she was supposed to be really excited about it, but obviously she's not, because now she's depressed that she can't go in to see Mona. And she says, I'm going to kill that Lucas. They said a man was in there and, freaked her out. And he's like, actually, it was me.
Which
So
we appreciated.
he didn't lie about it, because, he kept saying, well, we're not going to lie to each other. So he admits to her he went to go see Mona just to ask her some things and see why she would be bothering Hannah still, even though I don't know how. Like, he's saying, I wanted to see if, like, to get her to realize that she's been, like, bothering you or, like, hurting you, and I don't want her to do that anymore. But I don't really get how she could be doing that. I mean, we know, but he doesn't know.
He doesn't get it. He's trying.
He's trying to understand
why
why Mona's still, like,
has like a pull on her,
right?
A hold
exactly.
over her.
Yeah. And Hannah's like, I understand why you did it, but, like, please mind your own business.
Yeah, don't.
And so he chucks the tickets up in the air. So dramatic.
I would love an email, listeners. How are you feeling about Caleb? I mean, obviously, I understand where we end up, but, like, it's
right. No, it's not fun to watch.
Yeah.
It almost feels like a relief when they do end it in this episode. So Hannah, she witnesses Wilden at Radley. She's trying to sneak in, and Wilden has a court order to speak to Mona, which Hannah's like, that's impossible. She's been locked up here for 5 months, and Ren's like, he just wants to talk to her. I don't know what he wants to say, but he wants to talk to her, and he'll be in there for however many hours he needs to be. So, Hannah ends up seeing Ren, and she doesn't do a good job of hiding that she's there, and she's, like, really upset about it, and he's, like, trying to, like, talk her off the ledge about how he thought these visits were helping, and he extended her hours, and he got in trouble for that, and, like, the way he's smiling, I'm like, stop it.
Stop,
He's
sir.
He doesn't know how not to be charming.
Right.
He just doesn't know how to have a normal conversation with another.
I mean, I feel like
female.
charming is complimenting him. He is
absolutely
charming, but it's just, I know what you mean.
No, we're not being charmed by him, but he thinks he's charming everyone. He just has that persona.
Like, do you actually, Ren, feel like this is good, or are you doing this because you have a crush on Hannah now?
Right. Like, are you doing it for ulterior motives?
Right.
It seems a little much.
It's unclear right now.
It is. Like, for you to be risking your job.
Right.
The job that you have, but you've been volunteering a lot at a Radley. So Aria and Hannah have a talk about how Caleb is so upset, and Hannah feels like it would be easier if she could just tell him, and Aria says, so do it. Just tell him. If I was in your position, I would have to tell Ezra. I'm like, you are in her position. You are.
Yeah, I thought that was a very interesting choice.
I guess because
there.
Caleb is, like, on her tail about it and won't quit.
Yeah.
But, like, okay, so if one partner gets to know, the other partner should know too.
Agreed.
Yeah. But then Hannah immediately gets a text from A with a picture of the Montecito EMT helping a car accident situation. And they're like, I'm everywhere. Haha.
This really, for me, like, just kind of like blew it out of proportion.
Oh, absolutely.
I can understand tormenting in Rosewood, but we went to California.
Yeah, Kat says, how do you feel about A doing a cross-country trip to Caleb's mom just to send a message to Hannah about not telling Caleb?
That's how I feel about it.
No. This is fucked up.
Like, I understand this show does so many things that are, like, unbelievable, but we'll go with it. This, to me, I'm trying to think of another example that this show has done where we were like, okay, this is, like, the ultimate ridiculous. Have we gone?
Oh, we'll get more, though. Like,
Are we going like international?
Oh, we're
Oh,
just wait.
okay.
Just
Oh,
LOL
my
to those who
goodness.
have seen it, right? Yeah.
oh my goodness.
Anyway, so Caleb comes in and Hannah sees that he's upset and he says, "My mom was in a car accident. It seemed like someone was trying to run her off the road, but she's fine, luckily." And then he's like, "But you had something to tell me." And she's like, "I can't, though. No, I can't tell you anymore. This is so beyond frustrating." She's got tears in her eyes. He's like, "Look, I'm at my last straw here. If you got to tell me or not." And he finally was like, "You know what? I'm done. I'm sorry. I can't do this anymore. You literally told me you have been lying to me, but then you can't tell me what that lie is. So what am I supposed to do with this situation?"
This is really, really just want to shake them. Obviously, you want Hannah to speak up.
Yeah.
You want her to fill him in. But now is Hannah not, because she's afraid now Caleb will get hurt. And this has been like
right.
the
This is the ongoing
theme.
thing over and over again. Vic and a lot of people said, would you have told Caleb?" At this point, yes.
Yeah.
I can't. There's no. I feel, and I've said this before, like the more people we get involved here, the easier it's gonna be. Well, not the easier, but like the harder it will be for A to like pinpoint multiple people, right? Like we keep getting everyone involved. A can't like threaten like 25 people. Or maybe they can. I don't know.
Do you think
it just seems crazy?
Hannah couldn't even communicate anything? Like, and even Caleb says, like, last year you didn't want me involved because you feared my safety. Why couldn't she even say that again? She says nothing.
She says,
"Why can't
nothing.
you trust me?" He's like, "How more patient can I be?" Really? And I was like, they really don't have a relationship right now.
Right.
There's nothing. And he claimed, he says, "I feel like I'm only in half your life."
Absolutely.
Which is totally valid, but she's so closed off.
I feel like
This is really hard.
maybe A is omnipresent, right? Like they are all knowing. They are there at every second of every minute. Even though they were in Montecito, she still feels like in Rosewood, if she told Caleb, A would find out somehow. I feel like I would be like texting on my phone, like showing him, like, or just being like, it's still like mouthing it, just something. I mean, I guess she's just afraid that they are always going to see what she's doing. I just be like, it's happening again.
I ask this a lot. Will we find out how this particular A situation happened?
I honestly do not remember. I honestly don't remember.
And I also feel like I say this a lot. Like, I feel like out of all of the things, I want to know about this one the most. No, I really, though, need an explanation of how.
Logistics of how this happened. Yeah. I don't know if we'll get it, to be honest.
Well, Jenna can see now.
Jenna can see. Mm-hmm.
She's driving, as we know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, could Jenna be threatened so much so that she flies to California to run off Caleb's mother? We don't want you to, but the assignment is we don't want you to kill her.
We just want to make it look like you were trying to.
How do you do that?
It's
This is so crazy.
Wackadoodle.
The more I think about this part, really is so crazy.
You can't wrap your brain around it because it doesn't make any sense. Don't harp on it, because when I tell you, like I said, I don't even know if we'll get an explanation of how they even accomplished this.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay.
Our girl Emily, she's the only one who seems to be able to get a job in this town. No one else wants to work.
Did we miss her talking about wanting to get a job?
We didn't miss any of that. We didn't miss her saying, like, I'm short for cash. We didn't miss any of this.
Or maybe she needed to keep busy somehow, like keep her mind off of
Maybe
stuff.
there's a deleted scene. Yeah, I heard that. Mm-hmm.
No, Moy, she's on the counter.
I thought I peeked.
No.
So she takes a job at the brew, and it's like her first like hour there, and Nate St. Germain comes in and introduces himself and says, "I'm Maya's cousin. I'm starting this semester and going to Hollis," and he's hoping that they could catch up. Obviously, like, this is the only link to Maya is Emily, and Emily's only link to Maya is Nate. And so Emily says to him, like, "Yeah, I'm working here now. I can't really talk, but we can definitely talk and catch up later." So they meet up and they talk about Maya and how it's really hard for him to now be going to school in the same town that she was murdered in. And ends up giving her a gift that came after her funeral. So I guess when she mailed it.
Yeah, that's what it
before
seems.
she had passed.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a t-shirt from the movie that they went on their first date with, and she seemed like she was upset that she couldn't have a funeral service for Maya, and he's like, it was just a small gathering of family. And she says, I want to write her parents a letter. Can you give it to them? And he's like, yeah, I'll get the address. But then he doesn't have the address. So he's like, I'll just send your letter with my package I'm going to send out for them the next day. They bond over swimming. Really, that's it so far. He says it's going to be hard for him to be in town. He doesn't know if he's going to stay in town because of everything that's been going on with Maya. She says, yeah, well, if you do, I will be a friend for you. And he appreciates that. So everybody wants to know your initial thoughts on Nate. How long will he be with us? What do you think of him?
Well, our first initial thoughts, we were like, he's
beautiful. Beautiful. Like, it's almost like this is a CW show. I think he does end up going on like The Originals or Vampire Diaries or one of those shows because he's so pretty.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really know what to think. Is he a one and done?
No, we'll see him again.
Oh, we will.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that Emily said, if you need a friend, I'm here. I don't really know what will his role be.
Right.
Or if this was necessary.
Right. I think, we kind of have to like have Emily heal, if you will. Yeah. So maybe his presence and like him being close to Maya, but kind of said to her at the end of the episode, like, you need to also like live your life.
Sure.
Don't be afraid to do that. Maya wouldn't want you to like waste time and being
like take
sad.
Your own advice.
Yeah, basically.
She gave him. Yeah.
Right. So she kind of was like, the way she approached what he said, I don't think she really liked what he said. Her face seemed a little like, I don't know,
sometimes
disappointed.
It's hard to digest.
Yeah.
Of like, you have to move on.
And then we see her at the end of the episode kind of like reminiscing with the shirt. And then I almost get like a smile from her. Like, she's like, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. Like, this helped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of the episode, we see at Montecito Airport enjoying a nice cocktail, and they're on the computer going through Radley's database, I guess. And now they're giving Mona permission to have visitors. She had no visitors. Now she's getting permission. And cuts to black. They leave a nice tip. And
so like, okay. I guess depending on the timeline, it can't be Mona because I know you didn't ask for who you think he is, but this is where my mind's going. It can't be Mona because Wilden was interviewing her, and I'm sure like Ren would know if she got out.
Yeah.
Right? But Mona is very good into hacking into computers, as we know, and systems. Like, she helped Emily with, it was Emily, right? In her grades with the lock-in.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Jenna also could still be continued to be threatened, but would Jenna fly to California to do this role? But now Jenna can see and drive. And then there's Lucas, who is
right. They're definitely
Dark Lucas.
Right. Well, if we're to as we know, there is a new A. Mona could very well be involved or not be involved. Right. This person or whoever could have taken the reins from her and been like, all right, peace, I'm on to my own journey now. Or she could be very heavily involved. It's just, it makes her seem like she's involved because we know that obviously Hannah's been visiting her. And now the fact that she can get visitors again, it just seems like obviously Mona's still a part of everything.
Right. And how could Mona and Lucas not still matter to this story? Because Lucas was giving us, he was like talking in analogies last week and saying how life is like an iceberg and this is just the beginning and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he knows more.
He knows more than he has told anyone.
Yeah.
He knows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we will.
What happens there.
Yeah, we will.
All right. This week, Lucky Leon's Ladle, remember? It was on Reno, but now it's back. So welcome back to the scoop of the week which is Ben and Jerry's Churn Out the Vote. Oh, God.
Ooh,
I go, oh, God.
how fitting.
Yeah. Vanilla ice cream with pretzel swirls, fudge chips, and swirls of chocolate mousse. Since the grand reopening, I thought I'd do a new flavor to Ben and Jerry's collection, and this fits with the new character, the reveal of the Black Swan, Byron's new haircut, and new dating life. While there are yummy fudge chips in the ice cream, the only chips in the episode is the further chipping away of our beloved Caleb. The episode churned out a score of 3 scoops out of 5 with some sprinkles on top.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Speaking of Michael.
Speaking of Michael.
You know what I thought was so strange tonight, Michael, is you were back, but also our friend A is back.
Yeah, and we talked about this off mic because, you know, we love our buddies. And we're like,
Absolutely.
where has Michael been?
We're like, where's Michael been? And then I'm like, you know what? A's been quiet too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're only to theorize that A is you.
I hope Michael hears this. He tuned into the live and he's listening while he's at a hockey game.
Oh, come on.
So he's writing his comments.
Oh, he's writing. Oh, okay. So what do you got to say to that, Michael?
Yeah, he's quiet now. He's quiet now.
How convenient.
But
But
yeah.
A says, hey, bitches. How you been? What? You didn't think you got rid of me, did you? I was just giving you some space. Later.
Okay, Michael. If a little backstory here. If you're new to our podcast, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you for being
If
here.
you're tuning in for season 3, we're so glad you're here. But we have had an A in season 1 and season 2. Season 1 revealed themselves.
Yes, it was our lovely listener, Kate.
Yes, which was so fun. So
She's the one who actually has been sending our voicemails each week. So if you listen to the break, that's from her.
Yeah, and if you're interested, you can send us a voicemail.
Yeah.
The number, do you have it by heart?
Yes, I do. 631-600-3916.
And it's in the show notes as well if
Of
you want to
course.
be a part of that. But season 2, we also had an A, but A never revealed themselves.
No, we thought they might at the end of season 2.
Right.
But they didn't.
Right.
And so they're back.
Yeah.
They thought we forgot. We didn't. We
didn't.
discussed this off mic.
Yes.
So you're back, and we still to this day predict that it's Michael because he hasn't proved us otherwise.
That's right. I mean, we thought it was a team. I still think
It
it's an
still
A
could very
team,
well
but
be a
I
team.
think Michael is the head. Mike in the chat just wrote dead with laughing emoji. So,
Okay.
okay.
It's not really giving us anything.
No, I mean, I wouldn't, you know?
I wouldn't.
Because if Mike came, Mike is damned if he does, damned if he does. I can't speak. You guys know. Damned if you do, damned if you don't,
Yeah,
right?
basically.
If he was like, it's not me, be like, sure.
Sure. And if he was like, it is, we'd be like, sure.
Sure. Right. Right.
Yeah, he can't win either way. We're
Mm-hmm.
just gonna think it's him for the rest of the season, unless there's some sort of proof we can do. He runs away. He ran away. Moish has now become the We're Liars cat. He has taken on the role.
He's become obsessed with peacock feathers. I have a vase
Weird for the Black Swan.
that's been on my floating shelf. You guys can't see for like a year, and they've had peacock feathers in them. And this week he jumped onto that shelf, and grabbed one, and then knocked the vase into the water.
Oh, and now he's like afraid of it.
No, he's trying to. And I'm like, how can I be mad at you when literally your cat toys have feathers on them?
Yeah, it's true.
You know,
Right, he thinks it's just a toy.
cat talk.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we can do an MVP and shittiest.
Sure.
I struggled a bit.
Yes.
All right, I'll go with this one. Ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1,
Aria.
Ashley. Aria!
So I had Ashley as my blue ribbon because I love the moms.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give it to Aria because I love it. Yes, she interfered with Ella, but she did it from her heart. And I really like that she was there for Hannah.
Yeah, I agree. I love that. I also was going to give a blue ribbon to Caleb
Yeah?
because I feel like, he was like, you know what? Actually, I'm going to do what's right for me because I can't do this toxicity anymore.
Mm-hmm. We love
so,
that.
preach to him
Yeah.
for doing that.
Yeah.
I don't really, the shittiest.
I really don't have one.
I have question marks for Veronica and Melissa.
Okay, so I put Melissa's acting. not Tori.
No, not Tori.
No,
it's just
it's
the way the scene played out.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
really bad.
Yeah.
I just had Veronica too for like keeping the secret. Like, I guess.
Well, how about the way Veronica's like, this is your family, or like
deal with that.
Yeah, you're Hastings. This is what we do.
This is what we do. We lie for our family. We always make our family look perfect, basically.
Yeah, right.
What would you rate this on a scale of 1 to 5? What do we do? 1 to 10?
I don't even remember.
I don't even remember. I think we do a 10. No.
No, we do 10 because
we do
done
10.
6.
No, we've done 10. It's out of 10. Guys, it's been a week, okay? As
Yeah,
you know, it's been a week.
Yeah. Well, if it's taking me this long, I must have not been that cringed. Or there was like little moments. What are you feeling?
I was going to give it like a 5.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll put it in like a square in the middle.
That feels right. That feels right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't like overly cringe, but it definitely had the cringe moments in there.
Oh, Vic Wilden. That's a good shitty.
Oh, Wilden.
Yeah. Vic wrote that in the chat.
I mean, I guess he's just doing his job.
He sucks
But
though.
he's just like, his attitude is terrible.
He sucks.
He sucks. He's always sucked.
And just the way he will, like, pulling up to talk to Spencer like that, I don't like.
I don't know, in the middle of well, it's not the middle of the night. It's dark. But
yeah,
he's just a douchey cop that now is a detective. So,
right.
Yeah, good for him.
Mm.
All right, it's the end of the episode. I will give you the
Yes.
title for next week, which is episode 5. We've made it 5 weeks.
Ooh.
The title is That Girl is Poison.
Okay.
And my secret is terrible, but here it is. Paige resurfaces.
Is that terrible?
Because when I tell you, I feel like there was nothing else that juicy in the episode that I could actually reveal to you at this moment. There will be some stuff to watch. Don't get me wrong, but
Okay.
I feel like, Paige is in a lot of next week's episode.
So that means it's Emily heavy.
In
I
a
wonder
way,
if
yeah.
it's going to be Emily, like you said, was holding the t-shirt and kind of maybe healed a little bit.
Right. She was
Right?
like basically got her sign from Maya that she can move on.
Right.
And
so Paige resurfaces. Paige obviously
Very
still has
quickly.
feelings for Emily. I'm going to assume still has feelings for Emily. And maybe they'll start up and Paige will be like, we can go slow. But then Paige is going to get, excited.
Paige is so excitable.
Okay. Maybe Paige will come into the brew, be like, "Oh, Emily." That's not how Paige talks, but
Emily,
I didn't know you worked here. I'll have a green tea latte or whatever. Does the head manager guy, does he have a name?
I don't recall.
He's funny.
Yeah.
He seems like he'll be a little
Gluten-free biscotti.
yeah, like kind of like a
I feel like he's
comic
going to be
relief.
Annoying. He's
Probably annoying,
a
but he'll be like the comical relief.
Yeah.
Comic relief. Yeah, I guess I don't really have much because you said it pretty much don't. And so we'll see what happens with Paige and Emily.
The concept is there's a birthday party. I won't tell you for who.
Oh, she's giving away a lot tonight.
Because I feel like
Lucky.
it's a birthday party for someone. There's something shocking about it. And then we find out some stuff about Lucas and Paige is there. That's all really that happens in the episode. I'm not really giving anything away because honestly, I didn't find it to be a good episode.
Okay. Wow, okay. We find out more about Lucas.
We do, yeah. A little bit, in a way.
A birthday party, huh? I'm trying to remember. No, I don't remember when the girls' birthdays were.
Did we
remember Camp
celebrate
Mona.
anyone's birthday?
I don't remember. I really don't. So, it could be any of the girls and then maybe Paige.
I'll tell
goes
you,
with
it's none of
Emily.
the core girls.
Oh.
It's someone else's birthday.
She's really like, we got to cut the BS, Michelle. After last week when I was like, it's Andrew Campbell's coming.
No.
She's like, done. We're not doing that.
No, it's not that. I don't know how,
Yeah.
you know.
You can't sugarcoat it.
I can't sugarcoat
You can't sugarcoat
it.
it.
I physically can't.
Yeah.
And hopefully the week after is better. I don't recall.
Okay.
But I hope it is.
That's all right. Hey, look. Paige is back. We find out stuff about Lucas. I'll take it.
Right, we'll take it. Michelle likes Paige.
All right. I don't know if I like Paige. I know last season. Was it last season or season 1? No.
No, it was no, I think it was season 1. You were into Paige and Emily for a minute.
Because the other situations were annoying me. So
right.
Okay. But yeah, okay. All right. We can move on.
Yeah. Do you have any predictions for now that we know that Melissa's the Black Swan, so that's kind of out of the way? Does it matter
anymore?
I know it doesn't matter.
So no. I guess I'll tell you what I'm looking forward to is finding out who Jason wrote that check to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think Caleb's done for a little while.
Yeah, so do you predict them to get back together?
Not yet. I hope this isn't the end. Gosh, that would be so disappointing. We loved them. Also, I would like to see Toby. That would be nice.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God, it could have been Toby who did the driving.
It could have been Toby. Oh my God. That would be awful.
I won't allow it. I will not allow it. I won't allow it for Toby to be the A.
No.
No.
All right. Okay. Well, before she just keeps spiraling.
Yeah.
We're going to go. Yes. But it's been fun. Thank you to all of our Betties in the live tonight and all the Betties that joined us during our Zoom hangout. We'll be back next week for That Girl is Poison.
I want you to sing it every time.
That girl is poison.